It's gonna look like a goddamn cream bagel afterwards.
Thrusting and thrusting and thrusting.
Hello, everybody. How we doing?
Bagel.
Hello, everybody. How we doing? Welcome to the VGRCast, weekly podcast about anything and everything in between. This week, I'm joined by my lovely friends Mike, Ryan, Steve, Monica, and my lovely fiance Chris. My name's Kev. Welcome to the show.
I'm getting sake drunk this week.
The intro music really was quasi SNL. Like, I heard a little bit of it.
Nice.
It was the Funk Station, baby.
The Funk Station.
I've been grooving on the Funk Station recently.
Do we want the funk?
Oh,
Can't have the funk. Welcome to the Horny People Podcast. That's what we're now calling ourselves, because we're all horny on Maine.
Just the VGRcast.
Have you met us? Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah. We're the Horny on Maine podcast. Can we rebrand?
Monica, you literally have a pee fetish hanging on your wall.
That is fair.
Monica has talked about a riding crop.
No, it's actually a political statement on a pee, not a pee fetish.
And she will not elaborate.
I'm still counting it as a pee fetish. Monica's also talked about riding crops on stream.
That is true.
This is an objective fact.
Hello everybody, how we doing?
Doing okay.
I'm doing great, honestly. I'm very overwhelmed, but I am doing very well.
That's good. That's good.
Just let it happen, Danny. Just let
Well,
it
we've
happen.
got a stacked topic list tonight, so let's get right into it, shall we?
Starting with something I can drink.
Starting with
Hey,
Kev's
you
cocktail.
forgot to add my topic that I added at the last second on.
That's not my fault. You should have added it sooner.
No, shut up, Kevin. I've had a busy day at work. Yeah, so did everyone else, dickhead.
Thank you, Ryan. You're a good friend.
Steve, I have diabetes.
What happened to the butthole topic list?
Oh, I wrote that in as a joke during the last podcast. I didn't think
Wait, what
people
happened?
took it seriously.
Oh, we want to talk about buttholes?
Oh,
No,
because of
like-
the topic last week. 'Cause,
Here's
like,
a butthole.
Yeah.
do you show your significant other your butthole?
Like,
The
can we
answer
show
is yes.
cat butthole on stream?
Please don't show cat butthole on stream. I don't know what
Too
will
late.
get flagged.
Harry.
I love that everyone's happy to be here, and Mike's life is just deteriorating alcoholism. Speaking of alcoholism,
We'll get
this cocktail
Oh, Jesus.
is brought to you by one of the most famous alcoholics in the world.
Me.
It's a very famous cocktail, famous for the lines "shaken, not stirred." This
I'm Colin.
is
Sherlock
Ian.
Holmes.
This is Ian Fleming's, aka James Bond's Vesper Martini.
It's Vesper.
This is the
Don
drink.
Daly.
This is James Bond's martini. It is 3 parts.
Scott Malkinson.
To quote James Bond, 3 parts Gordon's, 1 part vodka, half part limits, which is like a French fruity
It's a French
wine
like
liqueur.
sherry.
And
Ricky
it
Bobby.
is indeed shaken, not stirred. So
Shirley Temple.
cheers,
Would you like to sniff?
cheers.
Cheers.
Arnold
Aw.
Palmer.
Arnie Palmy alert.
You gotta make that next.
Randolph Scott.
And Arnold Palmer's not alcoholic. That's delicious.
Yeah, it is. Oh wait, no, it's not.
There's also a lime
That's
twist.
not-
Tiger Woods.
That's delicious.
Are we just naming random famous people at this point?
No, those are random
I
golfers.
don't know.
Oh.
I started with drinks, but then like we were going into golf.
Hey guys.
Hey.
Abe Lincoln.
Hey, Blake.
Hey, Lincoln!
Thank you.
That
can't-
Danny is very upset, and she is so cute.
Sorry,
She's a
right
grumpy
over my
old
head.
lady.
That is
Wait, hold-
that's a tasty drink, but that is all booze.
That's what's great
yeah.
about martinis. It's just booze.
That's also a big
Just
drink too.
booze.
Check in on me in an hour.
Checking on me in like 10 minutes.
Hey. That's a mood.
I'm petting the beans and they feel like velvet.
Oh. Good bean.
You make a bean.
Movies have good beans sometimes.
No.
I hate you so much.
I don't. It was silent. Okay, that one was because it was
Kevin,
silent. I didn't know what to do.
You know,
Okay,
Kevin?
this is you.
No, not Miriam, my boy. Stop it. He's my boy.
Wow.
I was gonna
Okay,
say Kevin.
Here he comes.
In another universe,
No!
that might have been funny.
Huh?
In another universe, that joke might have been funny.
Yes,
I
in
don't
another
think
universe,
so.
that joke might have been funny.
No.
Too bad we're not in a
I just
multiverse.
realized we could rename her to Jack Danny, and her name still Speed Danny, and have the alcohol into it.
So,
Alright, I'm back. I'm
I-
back.
So just to
Oh, God.
give you guys a little story. So when Nat and I went to see the movie we're talking about today, about 2/3 of the way through the movie in our theater, we smelled the telltale sign of someone just blazing it.
No.
Yeah!
Yeah.
Fuck yeah!
And given how fucking trippy this movie is, I do wonder how viewing it through that lens might have been. Anyways, we're
Spoiler-free,
obviously
Harry.
talking about
Spoiler-free.
Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
Harry, leave. Harry, leave a minute for a second.
Harry, go away.
If you don't want spoilers,
I'm
come
going
back
to-
in 10 minutes.
Yeah, there are no spoilers.
No, no.
I'm gonna fuck off for a bit
I've
then.
crafted it very carefully to try to avoid as little spoilers as
She wants to
possible.
Alright, I'll stick
So-
around. I already got
To be
one
fair,
spoiler.
that is definitely a movie that I imagine you can get blazed to.
Yeah, I'll
I
have
already
to
got
make a
one
mental
spoiler
note
and
to
I'm
remember those,
kinda mad
and
about it.
because I forgot to add those 2 little fun factoids to my notes. Anyway, so this is not directed by the same guy who directed the original Doctor Strange. This is directed by Sam Raimi.
Your boy.
For those who don't know, did the OG Spider-Man trilogy and the Evil Dead movies. That's important. More on that later.
Yeah.
So-
I love Bruce
So
Campbell.
the basic plot is that and this is as spoiler-free as I could possibly get. Doctor Strange has a chance encounter with a girl named America Chavez, who has the power to traverse the multiverse. After a different encounter with Scarlet Witch, he and America are sent through the multiverse, and it is up to Doctor Strange to protect the girl and find his way back to his own universe. And I will say, I hope Harry didn't actually leave yet, because one of the big warnings that I will give, and this probably applies to literally no one but me, but WandaVision is very much required viewing for understanding the plot of this movie. Because me and Nat were one of the two of the 5 people who had not watched WandaVision yet.
Oh.
I think Harry's seen pretty much
I
everything.
I
so-
could have told you that last week because I knew that going into this movie.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of heard that, but I didn't realize how required it was
Keyboard's very loud.
until... So there was very much a, oh shit, we kind of needed a previously on here for the, 2% of the population that didn't actually watch WandaVision. So I was pretty lost for about the first, quarter of the movie, and then through various contexts I was able to piece things together, but yeah, make sure to binge through some WandaVision before seeing this. And while I've also heard that it is recommended to watch What If and Loki, they're more enhancements than required viewing, because I imagine the aspects that were drawn from that were not nearly as important to the plot as WandaVision was. So, in terms of the movie itself, while it is much shorter than Eternals and No Way Home, it feels a lot denser of a movie that in the topics that is brought up, and part of that is probably just the explanation of the multiverse and making sure in those explanations to squeeze in not only all the parts of Sam Raimi's style, but also the Marvel formula, or as I like to refer to it as, the Marvel melodrama. If we ever do follow up on those VGR talks that we keep talking about but never actually do, I would love to do one about how Marvel movies are essentially modern-day melodramas, and the rules that it follows versus the rules that melodramas follow.
I would absolutely love
Let's
to
do
hear
it.
that. That sounds amazingly interesting.
Yeah, I'm
Yes,
down for that too.
It's something that I've been thinking about since I saw Shang-Chi in the fall, so it's something. And just because the movie is so dense, it's not dense in a bad way or a way that you can't understand. It's just very dense in a rich chocolate cake in the way that Sam Raimi wove all of these Marvel aspects together and his own style. And boy, did the man have a ton of creative freedom, because holy shit.
Boy, howdy.
That unlike most Marvel movies, because this movie has a PG-13... why am I making you look bad? while this movie has a PG-13 rating, it is actually a very apt rating for this movie.
Mhm.
I would actually classify this as a horror movie in some parts.
Yes. Definitely.
And it is not put through the mouse filter. There are scenes that are gory, there are scenes that are just straight frightening. This is not filtered through Disney, y'all. This is a very rough around the average. There's a great meme I saw, and I should have had the forethought to send it to you guys earlier, but it's the Trojan horse meme, and it's Sam Raimi leading the Trojan horse, and it says Doctor Strange 2, and inside the Trojan horse it says Evil Dead 4.
Oh, that's so cool.
Fuck them kids.
Pretty much. Actually, that is very, very apt. And also in terms of things to probably brush up on before seeing it, it wouldn't hurt to brush up on the first Doctor Strange movie, because they do tie back to that. Because, friendly reminder that the first Doctor Strange came out 6 years ago.
Don't do friendly reminder. I don't like that.
I don't like being old.
I don't like being old either. Y'all must share in my pain.
Oh,
Anyway.
just real quick. Might have said this last week, but our local fish store said that they're going to be 30 next year, and they were established in 1993, and I got sad. Feel my pain, Mike. Feel my pain. Anyway, go Monica.
And also, in terms of other things that are timeless in age, is that if Sam Raimi is directing a movie, Bruce Campbell has to have a cameo.
I love Bruce Campbell so much. So he's in a USA
he's
TV
in the
show
Evil
that I
Dead.
love.
He's also in the Evil Dead
Ash.
movies, which is why he is always collaborating with Bruce Campbell, and even has it. And obviously I didn't know this back then because I was a child, but apparently he's had cameos in all 3 of the original Spider-Man movies too.
I love Bruce Campbell.
So there's that. Other fun facts is that the title of the movie Multiverse of Madness is a play on the H.P. Lovecraft story Mountain of Madness, and also plays into Marvel's love of alliteration.
Okay.
And damn, one of the things I kept thinking throughout this movie is that if they had a video game adaptation for this movie, if they did it as like a horror game, it would be so perfect. There's one scene in particular that I'm thinking of that I was just like, damn, that would be so much fun. And obviously being Doctor Strange and being able to bend realities and all that, go through the multiverse and shit, there's a lot of special effects, and there were some reviews that said that it felt excessive. I didn't feel like it was. I felt like it was very much in the style of the movie and what it was trying to go for. And I'm pretty sure I've said this before, maybe when I was talking about Shang-Chi, but what makes or breaks a Marvel movie is how good the antagonist is. And boy, they really did a fantastic job with the antagonist of this movie. There is so much richness to it.
Thank you, Steve, for the resub. And yeah, don't say the antagonist or anything. Doing good.
I know. I am trying to go in as blind as possible.
No. Monica, you're doing great. You're doing great.
Thank you. That's
all
I wanted to say about that, because it was just very well done, especially given, some of the previous Marvel antagonists, that this is definitely one of the better ones they've done in recent years. And obviously, this is a Marvel movie, so stay all the way to the end, you fuckers.
I know.
There are some people who bitched about the post-credit scenes, but honestly, thought it was brilliant.
I loved it. It was great.
Overall,
Themes,
it's
plural.
There's 2.
There's
yeah.
2.
Plural.
Middle and
Themes,
end.
plural. Yes.
Just so you don't have to look up it later.
Yes.
Look up it?
Like,
look it up.
Well, I used the last 5 minutes to order tickets for Saturday, so we'll see it on Saturday.
Yeah, so overall, this is a rich, rough around the average Evil Dead-esque romp through the Marvel Universe that is both fun and substantially filling, and I would highly recommend it. One of the things that Nat and I also did is we watched it in IMAX 3D, and that was really fucking cool.
Oh,
Also,
sorry.
yeah, This is my last point. It's not even about the movie itself, but I think the biggest plot twist of the entire cinematic experience was the fact that our Avatar 2 had a trailer in this movie.
I enjoyed
Oh yeah,
it.
that's fair.
I enjoyed that.
Yeah, trailer just dropped. The trailer just dropped like a couple days ago. I
I'm a
actually have
sucker
to
for
watch
Blue
that
Avatar.
at some point.
That was the biggest plot twist, especially because Ryan was. Because it was like maybe a few days ago that Ryan shared the meme of so excited for Avatar 2, guys, from 2013. So it was very.
I did do that, yeah.
Also, friendly reminder that Avatar 2 has a trailer, and you know it doesn't? The Flash. Anyway, moving on.
It's okay.
That's because
Actually,
he's too busy fighting people.
so what's really
was gonna-
Yeah.
I'm about to say he's fighting everyone but his antagonist. Sorry, Chris.
No, it's fine. So we saw it opening night. So we saw it Thursday, and then I worked the next day. And one of my clients, he had just adopted a new dog, so he brought the dog in for a puppy checkup and all that. And I was just bringing it out. He was talking about I mentioned his previous dog that he had to put down was named after the doctor from House. And then we were just talking, and then he's like, yeah, I saw the new Doctor Strange movie in 3D, and I was like, how was it? He's like, it was awesome, especially that one scene, which people who have seen it knows.
There were several one scenes, but
Yeah, but so I was like, yeah, we saw it just regular, but it was really nice to just talk to my client like a human being for once, instead of being yelled at. So.
yay!
Yeah.
Progress.
Semi-related news. My friend's Rottweiler's name is Wanda.
Aw,
Named after Wanda.
good.
From,
I love nerdy names. It's great.
I'm just glad everyone had a good weekend, it sounds like.
Yeah, it seems you had a rough time.
What happened, Mike?
Yeah, some of us didn't have such a good time.
Did you have a wacky work week?
Yes, and it's Tuesday.
I have a
is a-
5-day weekend. It's not
Captain, it's
planned.
Tuesday.
What a week, Captain. It's
It's
Tuesday.
Tuesday. Mike, it's
So-
Tuesday.
It is a whole ass mood.
So, I work at unnamed dessert place, dessert chain. We'll put it that way.
Also, real quick, not to interrupt you, Steve. You really didn't miss much by missing the Blue People trailer. Sorry, go ahead.
You didn't miss much. It was just more the shocking fact that it existed because I didn't know the trailer dropped.
It was pretty much just pretty shots from the movie. Anyways, I'm sorry, Mike. Continue.
Yeah. I mean, it looks pretty, but
Yeah, but I'm not
who
interested at
cares?
all.
Who the fuck cares? Anyway, so I work at chain of
Let go.
unnamed bakery.
Do not claw my chair.
And across the country, we massively overprojected for Mother's Day. We think that a part of it is because Easter and Mother's Day are so close together.
This
I
year.
also think the post-COVID boom is starting to die down. So we have a lot of extra product, which means that I didn't have, well, theoretically, I was not going to have to bake at all for the first 2 days of this week. So first day this week, I go in, I bake one batch, and then I take an entire van full of extra product down
Whole-ass
to,
van.
yes, down to a location, we'll call it WL, Indiana. Ryan knows where that is. Plot twist, it's a 2-hour drive. There.
Fantastic.
Let me tell-
2 hours both ways. That's half your day gone already.
Yeah,
Exactly.
It's half my shift. Let me tell you, I-65 is fucking boring.
yeah, there-
Liquors, Indiana.
There's nothing to do.
It's a 2-lane highway with nothing on it. I almost fell asleep on the ride down there,
Oh,
and I was
no.
driving.
How long
are
is
you
the
allowed
drive?
to, listen to podcasts or anything?
Oh yeah, I brought my own aux cord and shit. I was the only one in the van. It was just me.
Yo,
so I
pass me the
brought-
aux cord.
Yeah, I listened to a bunch of
Myself
podcasts,
by cord.
Listen to,
I'm
like,
so lonely.
Red Web and Off Topic.
I need
and
to
all
catch
that
up on
shit.
Red Web.
There's a
Anyway.
new
They
Marquee
just had a
podcast.
Hollow Earth episode.
I'm like not caught up.
Really?
I like watched the first couple
Yes.
episodes.
I
So
need to watch that one then.
Yes. But so drove down there, offloaded all of our product. They had no idea that I was bringing that much.
That's always a
So-
good sign.
love it.
Yeah. So it took probably at least a half hour to offload all of that, get it in their storage.
Shove it in.
And so then I drove all the way back up, and then I went home because it was like 15 minutes before the end of my shift by the time I got back.
Oh my god.
Today, I get in. No baking at our location today, because instead, me, our manager, Beth, and 2 of our frosters got shipped up to, let's call it V Hills.
Oh,
I
hey.
got you.
Not one that's owned by our manager, but one that was recently taken over by a new manager about 4 months ago, who has no fucking clue what she's doing.
I'm sure Beth was
Oh,
pleased.
delightful.
That
Now-
tracks. That
Yes.
tracks. Oh my god.
Yes, this is literally the case of this manager was trained by corporate, who's really bad at training people,
Oh yeah. Oh, corporate's always
and
bad.
basically
No,
had a
God,
whole bakery
please,
dumped in
no.
her lap. And Beth is nationally known for being really fucking good at being a manager. So she took her core team, me and 2, Ryan, it was Ashley and Allison for us. So
Yeah, that tracks.
so she took us up there to teach them how to do it.
Oh no.
Teach him how to Dougie. Teach him how to
Oh,
Dougie.
shut
tell you.
your hole.
Whoa. That, hey,
Listen.
5 years ago called, Kevin. They want their reference back.
No.
I
Fine.
want to say that's out of place, but when I tell you that the dishwasher was off in his own fucking world, singing to himself while doing dishes and dancing,
Teach
I'm
me
not
how to
sure
Dougie.
he
Teach me,
was
teach me how to
cleaning the whole
Dougie.
time.
Hey, man,
Let me-
you gotta-
Just leave him
Right.
alone.
Okay, right.
Also,
So you know,
for the record, that's not 5 years ago. That reference wanting its reference back. It's 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Anyway,
Teach me how to
so Ryan,
Dougie.
Ryan,
Teach
so
me
you
how to
know how we
Dougie.
have all of our pans neatly stacked in
Hi.
rows.
Stack it neatly.
Okay, now imagine if you took all
I'm
those
stacked
pans,
neatly in rows.
threw them onto a dump truck, and then dumped the dump truck onto the racks.
I don't want to think
It
that.
looked
You can rack
like
my
a
dump
modern
truck.
art piece.
Babe.
Imagine like cupcake pans arranged like a modern art piece.
Ooh, I like it, but not
Yeah,
good for a
not when you have
bakery.
to grab pans, you do.
You should tell that dishwasher to stop dancing and jiving
We
the music.
literally
Just
we brought up like 100 pans from our stuff because we knew we would be moving faster than them.
Okay, but where was I?
And I still
were the 100
ran out
pans?
of pans.
Fuck you, I did it first.
No, I did it first, like 5 minutes ago. You never heard
I
me.
did it.
Oh, and God bless this
America.
baker. She
The
is
land that I
she
love.
joined like 3 months ago, and she had to learn how to bake and pop at the same time.
Pop, lock, and drop it?
I feel so bad for her because a half hour into us starting, she had an actual panic attack,
Oh.
and
no.
Beth had to go calm her down because I could tell right away she knew how to work, but was not taught properly at all.
Oh.
So she just was completely overwhelmed when 3 experts came in and started saying, this is how it's supposed to be done.
That sucks.
So,
yeah, that's not a good feeling.
she's got to feel awful about that.
yeah. So, we did that. Got Chick-fil-A for lunch, so that was decent.
Nice.
Did that. By the way, the drive up there is like an hour and a half. We
Woof.
caught the rush hour traffic back
Woof.
Rip.
Woof.
on 294,
Guessing it
which
was
is
like-
still under construction.
It's always under construction. It's always.
So it was about a 2-hour drive back.
Oh,
probably.
that's good. You know, usually it's a
Yeah.
3-hour drive.
Yeah. And by the time I got back to the bakery, I had done a 10.5-hour shift. So yeah, I got back at around 6:20, so I didn't even get home till 6:50. So I barely had enough time to finish all of the episodes for today. So that was my week. But speaking of episodes,
Binging the episode.
Binging the episodes. Binging the episodes.
What?
Media
We
Club.
this is why I have sake.
Damn, if I'd known you were in the V Hills, I would have come over there and said hello.
Oh, don't worry, the dishwasher's friends popped in to say hello. So, no, I'm not
Man.
joking.
This dude
Like,
sounds like an absolute vibe.
We heard like a bunch of noise coming from the dishers, and the manager goes, "Oh, Theo's friends popped in. They pop in every now and then."
Wildly unprofessional.
Speaking of Theos,
Speaking of Theo's,
Nice. That's a good
Holy
one.
shit.
Baby Theo.
I don't think his
Swish.
name was actually Theo, but let's
No,
roll
his
with
name
it.
was Theo.
No, I mean the person I'm talking
Oh.
about. But
What do you mean, poor Theo?
He's a
what do you?
good being.
I'll give a
I
tiny
don't know
bit
right
for
now.
Theo because the incident I don't think was all his fault.
It was not.
No. That was not.
But
his
before
fault.
we go to the
He
incident,
tripped and fell.
let's talk about the beginning and the whole thing.
Let's talk about how this episode was written.
Yes, and
Fucking
because
amazing.
Because I brought this up at the end of the last media club, where I really enjoyed the fact that they were kind of framing each of these episodes through one particular character, and the way they decided to frame it through Theo, who is a deaf character, was utterly brilliant, and this probably was my favorite episode I've watched thus far.
Yep,
It-
for sure.
It is also weird that all of the most important plot stuff happened in the episode with one line of dialogue.
Yeah.
Which is at the end, which
Which
is
is amazing.
Yeah.
I'd
What
still-
was the
Yeah.
one line of dialogue?
It was Brazos going like,
Yes.
Yes, we got it. or
Oh,
whatever.
yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
We know.
Yeah,
But yeah,
and I
so-
loved all of those workarounds in getting that.
Oh,
I think
Harry, if you are watching it with us, you should go away. Unless you said you binged that ages ago.
No, we still want WandaVision. It's fine.
Yeah, but if you're watching
Talk about-
Only Murders, you should go away again. Sorry, bud.
He's not.
He's not?
but I have
I think Hulu was an
there
American
were
thing
a
only
couple
anyway.
No.
No, it's
moments.
It is not. Not at all.
There were a couple moments in this episode where I thought the gimmick didn't quite work. Like
Yeah.
it seemed unnatural for them to not be talking in
Yeah.
certain moments.
Like during their date.
Overall, I think it worked pretty well, and I love the concept of it. I just think
Yeah.
it needed a little more tightening up.
Yeah,
in
like
certain
during the
Yeah.
date or when they were in the funeral home or something like that.
No, Funeral Home and being
no,
sneaky
Funeral
made
Home.
sense
No,
for being
I mean,
Funeral
quiet.
Home was actually pretty brilliant.
I feel
'cause
like
it played,
she held up the gold teeth, and I feel like she'd be like, "What is this?" I don't know.
or the morgue was brilliant, but
Yeah.
the funeral home might have needed a little tweaking. But
I thought it was fine because at a funeral home you don't want to talk. If a funeral service
yeah,
is
that's
going
true.
on.
I don't want. Did they just show up to someone's
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
funeral
Yeah,
Yep.
because they
randomly?
got the tip off from
From the
the
urn.
around the
Underside the urn.
apartment because of
Mhm.
the urn.
Also,
Right.
dip.
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 Yeah, yeah.
There is also, I think, one of the first real breaks of the fourth wall, where Theo just signs people to talk too much in this city to the camera.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
because
Well,
the
that's not.
the
well-
break in the fourth wall was in the trailer that we watched when Tim looked at the camera. It wasn't actually that didn't actually happen in the
trailer.
show.
I'm
Yeah,
not talking about the
No, I know.
trailer.
I wouldn't
but-
call that a fourth wall break as much as the internal monologue that's addressed to the audience being framed through someone who can't talk and
That
be
is
heard.
true. That
No,
was,
but you see, but I would agree with you. But the fact that you said he's addressing it to the audience makes it a
Yeah.
fourth wall break.
I
Anytime you address the audience or your media form, that is the definition of a fourth wall break.
I think it's it's kind of a no workaround zone because you can't have a deaf character with an internal monologue.
Exactly. So
True.
And
Yeah.
I really liked when
I mean-
it was like in Theo's point of view, when it was like kind of like a reverberation sound. You know, like it was like a type
Yeah, the
thing.
thrumming.
But you see, the thing is, though, that deaf people, at least I don't think, I'm not deaf, I don't really know many people, deaf people that are deaf, they
there
don't
is a-
sign to themselves when they're thinking to themselves.
Yeah,
I
don't think.
You know, like
yeah.
someone that's alone won't just go, like, start doing sign language
Yeah,
just
I
by
mean,
themselves.
I don't think Mark
I-
did that. So
Well, I don't know, maybe they do. I could be wrong.
I feel like Mark is animated enough that he would sign to himself. Though.
Could be.
Yeah, maybe
I
a
still
little.
just remember
Yeah.
a band camp where Kelsey's trying to, where Kelsey's trying to get his attention, and then someone's like, "Hey," and he's like, "I'm
No.
deaf."
So
I-
the most I cut, yeah,
He was funny.
our friend Mark from band was the best. I remember
Oh, yeah.
standing next to him in
Trombone.
concert block, and our director just being.
Can y'all
like,
hear me?
Yeah, can y'all? You can't hear me. You guys aren't listening. And Mark just goes, "Of course I can't. I'm deaf." And everyone around him just starts laughing because he.
And the director was a dick, so probably didn't find it
Yeah,
funny.
Dr. B's a dick.
Anyway.
Great director, but a dick.
Yeah.
I will say this
You know-
episode probably had one of my favorite jokes from the whole series, where he incorrectly teaches the doorman the different sign
Oh,
language.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought
Like
he.
the doorman's trying to say like "Hi, how are you?" or something, and then he's like, "No,
It was
I
like,
hate
what-
you, fucking people."
Oh, I-
No. I mean, I don't think so.
I think the guy. I
think
think the guy was trying to sign "I hate these fucking people," and he was correcting
I don't
him.
think he was. I think the
No.
doorman was trying to be polite.
No.
and then-
Okay,
you
let
see,
Kevin.
because the guy was being a dick to him, so the doorman tried to say like I hate these fucking people, and then like he corrected him.
What was the doorman's like original line though? Because it
something
didn't.
about cheese.
Yeah,
It was
something like
gibberish.
Yeah,
that.
no, it was like
Wasn't-
it's like, is this cheese good or something like that?
Yeah, because the original line has no resemblance to "I hate these fucking people" at all. So
I don't
that's
know.
what made me think that Theo was just fucking with him.
I think
So,
could be.
I'm with Mike on this one. I'm pretty sure he was just fucking with him, teaching him the wrong.
Well, I think I'm with Kevin because the guy was being rude to the doorman. So
was he?
Also,
yeah, because it was a therapist saying, "I need you to fix something," and being like a dick about it. And the therapist stormed away.
yeah, okay.
The
Yeah.
Venmo therapist guy, because you
Could
know
be.
Venmo and therapy goes hand in hand, right?
yeah.
Yeah, this dude and his Venmo.
Right.
Jesus Christ.
You know who else is a fucking dick? Zoe.
Bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did like though that she's like, I'm such a bitch. Like
Yeah, I put in my notes. Zoe was a bitch in new ISL, but still a bitch.
yeah.
Acknowledging that you are a bitch does not make it okay that you are a bitch, though.
Yeah.
No.
She yoinked the ring. So I didn't catch it because I'm pretty sure I was taking notes at the time. But she yoinked the ring from Teddy's pocket, right?
No,
No,
she
she
so
only-
they went
when they were raiding the
yeah, they
place.
broke into Teddy and Theo's. So okay, Teddy is the dad, Theo is
Yeah.
the boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
So they yoinked it when they were doing Harley Boys or
Hardy.
Harvey Boys.
Hardy.
The Hardley boys.
Oh, I got a clue.
The Hardy Boys. Oh, the Hardy
Oh,
Boys in.
My clue's pointing me this way.
And that's when Theo was hiding in like the closet and
Mike.
whatever. But she was pulling. She just like opened up an envelope and dumped out the emerald ring.
Yeah,
So
She
Emerald
just took
City?
it.
yeah.
and Theo was being really bad at spying on people.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she signed to him.
Well,
Yeah.
she said first to Oscar, he's like, oh, he's hot, and then Oscar's like, I'm right fucking here, man.
Yeah, and she's like, "For the record, I
I
meant,
meant
it."
it.
Yeah.
Damn.
But also, the
Bonk.
during their fight where she just goes, "I feel like I'm dating the help." It's just like, fuck.
Yeah,
Yeah,
fuck
that was
you.
Racist.
It's like, "Oh, I don't feel bad that you're about to die."
Yeah.
This episode, I kept going back and forth, like, oh, Zoe's really sweet. Oh, Zoe's kind of a bitch. Oh, Zoe's really sweet. Oh, Zoe's a raging bitch. I just kept
I had
going
a-
back and forth.
Racist raging bitch.
I had a feeling she was not going to be a good person by the end of this.
Yeah, I knew she
Honestly,
wasn't good.
most of the, you know what? I'm gonna go on a limb and say every one of the Hardy Boys is a bad person.
I mean, so far,
I
Oscar
would
seems pretty
disagree
okay.
with you.
I would say Oscar's not that bad. He just
What's wrong
got
with Oscar?
framed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
fair.
that's true. Yeah,
Well, they're all complicit in breaking and entering into
They're-
other people's
That's
houses.
fair.
Yeah,
Teenagers.
it can't be that good.
Okay, but they're teenagers that are bored.
I never broke into anyone's house.
Did
and I
you
was
live
also
in?
a
Did you live in a
teenager.
fancy rich condo with a bunch of people?
Yeah, they're also rich teenagers, so
Or some of them were rich teenagers.
yeah.
Although I did, one of the things I really liked about the episode, was the fact that while Theo was kind of responsible for Zoe falling off the roof, that because of the previous episode being like, oh, and here's our prime suspect here, there was no really malicious intent with Theo causing Zoe's
No, I
fall.
think
It was
and-
100% accident.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he shoved. He,
let's-
he pushed her back and she tripped and fell.
I don't even think he
no,
pushed
I don't
her.
He didn't touch her.
I think she pushed off of him.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
like
think
she
she
pushed.
pushed
He
off
didn't
of
move.
him.
and she was drunk, so she
Yeah.
stumbled and fell over the edge.
Yeah, and then I did really like the Teddy Theo moment in the show because it was very much like he very much is like,
Hang on.
how bad is it, and
Yeah.
just very much talking to him like a dad, and it
I
added
think it
very humanization to it, even if it very much even though the next scene very much is like, you didn't see nothing.
Well,
Like-
no, continue. Sorry.
No, you didn't see nothing. Like, I love those very human moments. They felt very human to those characters.
There's that, and there was, for me in the scene, it was half he's talking like a dad, and then half
He's a
he
mob
knows
boss.
how to handle these situations. Uh-oh.
Yup.
Wow.
The I gotta say the date with Jan and Charles just my note is foreplay via Scrabble. I am wildly uncomfortable.
This-
Oh, that was
they're-
hot.
they're-
Wood.
Bonk! Bonk!
Hard.
Yum.
Yum.
they were getting so lucky with those letters, man. Like, what are the odds?
Yeah.
So lucky.
As someone who just played Scrabble recently, they have the best luck with letters.
It was such a
Bless your
horny
soul.
game of Scrabble.
You
Oh
get
my
a
god.
Y at the end, and you have a U? Holy shit.
That was the horniest game of Scrabble ever played, and I am here for it.
Yeah.
He's mad.
I was a little turned on myself.
Babe,
I was like, would you guys just stop playing Scrabble and go fuck?
they did.
And then they did.
did.
And they did.
He forfeited.
They did.
He dumped his tiles out.
Although the one thing that
He
the
submitted.
only criticism that I have of the episode is that I really wish we got to see the moment that Theo somehow incapacitated both Mabel somehow with her flying knitting needle of death, and but especially Oliver in just what that would have fucking looked like.
No,
I would have
could
liked to see
100%
him.
see.
I would have liked to see him eat shit. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there very much was, because he's an overdramatic theater director. Like, that man would have been
We got-
flailing about
We got a little bit of it in episode 8, but
a little bit, but not enough. I really wish we got that moment. Although that was a very cool thing of just seeing, of making sure to see that shadow on the wall.
yeah, because
That was
and that
very
also
cool.
makes sense since his hearing is gone. His other senses are way more heightened, so he would obviously notice the shadow more than like someone who's just paying attention to their work and shit.
Mm-hmm.
I'd just like to point out, I'm pretty sure at the like very close to the beginning of this episode, probably during the credits, I was just kind of thinking about Jan's roles. Like, I don't suspect her. I think she's gonna be collateral damage.
So,
Kevin,
so
what's
Speaking
your,
of-
what's your
episode
opinion
8,
on Jan, Kevin?
She's still the murderer.
No.
So I hit play on this.
Did you know that she
episode.
had sex?
No. No. What
Guys,
is
did they have sex?
Well, first
Wait, did
first
they have
off,
sex?
so I actually want to pose a question real quick. Beginning of this episode, this episode's monologued by a fan of the podcast. And in the beginning, he says a fan is someone who has undying loyalty for the thing they're a fan of, and that's the definition of a fan.
Dick, stop
And what do you guys think of that line?
I think I agree with it. Just because you may not agree with all of the decisions that a piece of media makes, if you are enough of a fan of it, you're still going to consume it. You're going to bitch about it the whole time, which is part of the reason why fandoms can just be toxic cesspools of death.
Me and Harry
Hi,
Potter.
Ryan. But yes, there is, if you consider yourself a fan of something, there is definitely a loyalty aspect of it, regardless of your feelings about the decisions of it, if you choose to still consume it.
No, you are in trouble. You have to sit
As a
here.
creator,
You're in trouble.
I understand the sentiment, but those kind of people are also a little harmful to the process to a certain degree.
Yeah.
Go on.
No.
Okay.
Oh,
That was
see,
my
Nat,
signal
I was
moment.
trying to be subtle, but yes, Star Wars.
Yeah, I mean, Star Wars is
yeah.
a good example of it.
But-
Yep.
But yes, I hit play on this episode,
Love it.
and as soon as I saw that they were fans, I was like, "Oh no!"
I think I've got a note like further down. It's like the secondhand cringe is real in this episode because I think I spent the entire episode going.
But while we're here, I might as well dump my fun fact. Who went to high school with any of these characters?
Wait a minute.
Oh, you mean those other
Yeah.
kids, like
Oh,
new people
no, I
like
mean
that?
the actors.
Oh.
Legitimately.
No.
So Sam is played by Jabuki Young White, who is a year younger than me at my high school.
Oh,
Wait,
wow.
which one was Sam?
That was the guy
Sam,
with the tie-dye shirt and the
The narrator.
Yeah, the narrator.
Yeah.
Oh shit,
damn, that's
super
cool.
Yeah, so
Holy
like he
shit.
started off like I didn't talk to him that much in high school, but I knew of him. And then like after I got out of college, he started like blowing up on Twitter. Then he actually had like a Comedy Central Presents at some
shit.
point. And now he's just a full-fledged actor, I guess. And he's good at it.
What's his name?
Nice, good for him.
His name's Jabuki Young White. Jaboukie.
He's further down the cast list because, yep,
Yeah.
Jabuki Young White, Sam.
Yep. So, like, it wasn't until when they brought him into the apartment, I was like, wait,
No,
What?
stop it. Stop
Wait, I
it.
know this kid.
He's coming up in an untitled. He's an actor in an untitled Bo Burnham project.
What?
Oh, shit.
Hey,
Yeah,
Mike,
I
you're
mean,
too.
yeah.
You're what is
Mike
it?
Three.
Jabuki.
What is it? The 7 degrees from Kevin's.
5 degrees from Kevin Bacon.
You're
Six.
you're
Six.
whatever number. You're 2
So-
from Bo Burnham. Actually, 1, I guess.
Mike during episode 8, the Leonardo DiCaprio meme.
We're,
Wait, what? Wait, what?
So by extension, we're 3 degrees
From Bo
or 2
Burnham.
degrees away from Bo Burnham.
Yeah,
And my
and from Selena Gomez.
my whole take on the degrees thing is you're
Steve
6 degrees
Martin.
from anyone in the world, I think.
And Steve Martin.
That's the point of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're 6 degrees from anyone in the world.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it.
But you're 3 degrees away from Bo Burnham now.
Read the gaze.
3 degays?
But guys, we're
Listen,
all.
I'm already on my 3rd drink, motherfucker.
Or I guess
Hey,
Mike
cheers,
is-
Mike.
Mike is 2, so we're 3. So Mike is also 2 degrees away from Steve Martin, everyone in that entire cast,
Selena Gomez, Martin Short.
and we're
This
3.
is not a 23 bottle.
Tina Fey.
Adult.
Tina
this is not-
Fey,
Fucking.
Sting.
Sting,
Sting.
Well, 4 degrees away from Sting then.
The ginger cat.
because I mean it's probable that he
Yeah.
never met Sting.
Yeah.
because they were
Yeah.
probably
So
not
4
filming on the
degrees
same
from
day.
Tina
That's true.
Fey.
Well, we
But
also
and
don't
the
know
cat.
if the 2 of them are going to show up in the last 2 episodes.
True, they might.
That is
Anyway.
I have
But
a
anyway.
full-time job. I doubt it.
So one of the things that I had in the previous episode is I'm like, also it seems like Tim Gono's death and the jewelry ring are somewhat separate for now, ? And then we get to this episode and it's like,
Nope.
while it's like they're right, not about Tim Kono, but Theo and Teddy are still very much going to prison.
Oh,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Good boy.
Hopefully,
Well,
for their
did
sake,
the
if they don't go to prison, like they're fucked.
Now, did the police find the jewelry room?
Yeah.
I'd
Because
assume
I
so.
don't think they explicitly said it in the episode.
Not explicitly, because we only saw the shot at their apartment.
No,
Yeah.
but But they talk about how they're going down for grave robbing at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So hopefully,
grave
hopefully his
robbing
pockets
and-
aren't super deep enough to get him on parole or anything, or because like, if they don't go to jail, I think they're kind of gonna be hunted the last couple episodes.
The police.
But guys, who's gonna fund the podcast?
I
Now,
mean, they have
I-
followers
Tina
now.
Fey.
I don't think they might not need to.
Holy shit, we have
Ding.
fans.
Oh
Now,
The merch.
now that is interesting though, because the cop
God, it's
refers
me.
to Teddy as the Deli King.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he might have some money. In,
Yes,
in
we-
like in political offices somewhere.
Well, we know he has money because.
Well, I mean, like he might have.
dropped $50,000 on a
invested
fucking
money.
podcast.
no, I
He
mean,
might have investments.
anyone that has money can easily make a couple phone calls, probably from prison, and
Yeah.
get things taken care of.
And what?
Yeah.
But the bigger question is, why did they sponsor their pod? Well, actually, wait.
Well, because
No,
now we know
they-
that they're not the killers.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
So it
Which
could
is
still
what-
be bassoonist. It could
Which
still
is
be
she's
She's
bassoonist.
dead now. Maybe.
She's not
Also,
dead.
I put Jan meeting the same fate that every Beatles fan wished that Yoko Ono would have.
Ah,
Whoosh.
good one.
Dead.
Oh, the third wheel. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, because she was very much Yoko Onoing her way
Well,
in this
100%.
episode.
Yeah, that was gonna be my transition over, like, because she basically inserts herself the fuck into everything with. My initial thought was that, oh, she's deliberately directing it away from there, but she's doing it very obviously and very badly. So I'm like,
Yeah, that's why she was even more shady. Like I'm saying,
well, yeah,
I
I
think
have her.
someone hung a note on her door.
that could be someone who knows that she's the bad person. We don't know who
Also,
put that note there.
I just want to draw attention to
I mean, her
something.
being stabbed at the
Kevin,
end kind of
Kevin,
ruins
I-
away from my
Kevin,
thing.
calm.
But what if
I
she
also
just
wanna-
did that?
I want to draw attention to something, and this line very much is like how I was trying to talk through right now. But there's one. I think one of the fans was like, "What if there are multiple culprits?" And I'm like, and I put the note. That's a very suspicious line to be brought up and completely ignored.
You're not wrong. I mean, there probably are multiple people behind this, or at least maybe multiple people trying to kill Tim Kono.
Yeah.
I think we're
Because he got
finally
poisoned
hitting.
and shot.
The shot was a
Yeah.
cover up.
I think
The
we're
shot-
finally
yeah,
hitting the point where the mystery is like really spiraling into so many different directions right before the end.
That's
Yeah.
what I
An
fucking
entirely
thought.
new direction, if you will.
I don't know if
Thank you.
Good one, Steve.
Someone got that.
Good one.
because one of the very interesting things is I was really thinking that once I saw episode 7,
You
I'm
can do it
like,
this time, babe.
oh, it's clear now that the body that Mabel's standing over in that little flash forward is Theo, and I'm like, now that's probably
Not Theo.
likely
You
wrong.
you mean Oscar?
No, I was thinking.
Oh, you
Theo.
think it's Theo?
I thought it was Oscar.
But
Then I saw
bet Oscar,
Sam in a tie dye shirt. He's going after the cats because Soko's being a dick.
Yeah, I have no clue who the body could be at this point.
I mean,
Yeah.
I still think it's gonna be Oscar because she was upset about it. I don't think she'd be that upset about Sam. To be honest,
I don't remember enough about the episode to
She
say,
was over
so.
a person with a tie dye hoodie, basically.
Oh, I didn't even remember that it was a tie dye
Yeah,
hoodie.
I don't remember.
It was it was a tie dye hoodie, which is why like one day the next episode we were like tie dye guy, and I was like, oh,
Well, I thought
tie-dye.
that was because of them going up the stairs.
he
not
was
because
he was wearing a tie dye hoodie.
in that flash forward.
And when he was going up the stairs, he was wearing a tie-dye hoodie. And then in the flash forward where Selena's over the body, or Mabel's over the body, there's a tie-dye hoodie person dead.
Oh, is that a tie hoodie? Oh, I guess it is kind of a tie-dye hoodie, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, well, then I saw Sam with the tie-dye and then, like, the picture on front. And I was like, so...
But what does Sam have to do with
Exactly. So
anything?
that's why I'm thinking it's more Oscar. Did he
My
scratch
thought.
out?
My thought
No, he
is.
jumped away.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know why, but it just keeps tickling the back of my brain. Was that Mabel stabbed her? But that's just my. I don't think that's a thing. But
Wait,
I don't
Mabel
know.
stabbed who?
Jan.
Think Mabel stabbed Jan?
No,
I don't think so.
Because she knows.
too much.
But Mabel's
mean,
not a suspect.
So are you assuming that Mabel is? So your thought is Mabel.
No, I'm not sure. I don't know. It's just a thought. It's just a thought I had. Not really connected to much. but-
I very early on I kind of doubled down on Jan.
And
I think
he's
she's just an idiot.
I'm doubling down.
He plays bassoon. What else more do you want?
She's
Well, I
evil.
Now, hold on. This next week is going to be the last 2 episodes.
Yeah.
So now we all have to place our bets
Yeah.
on who the murderer
let's
is.
do it.
I feel like it's because while she was very insistent on the cat guy, I still don't think it was him. It's like because they're kind of alluding like, oh, maybe Jan was right, but the fainting of blood thing is still is because since the blood was a surprise to him, that I doubt that he would have been involved with at least the shooting aspect. But if he didn't get involved with the shooting, because there was so much inconsistencies with him, it wouldn't make sense. I don't know. I just put the note. With Jan insisting on the cat guy, it gives me a pup named Scooby Doo vibes, where Fred is always thinking it's Red Herring.
Red herring.
I
So-
think.
I wasn't even in this episode, Jones.
Hey, Mike, you need to start catching herrings in Stardew Valley.
Come on.
Come
Come on,
So-
Steve Pup named Scooby Doo.
I never watched that show.
He's older than us, Kevin.
That's true.
That show's older than I am.
It's okay.
That was like a
It's older
90s
than
show, I
him.
think.
And so I'm going to throw a wild card guess out there. I'm going to say it's the therapist.
Pup named Scooby Doo was the 80s.
Calm down, Kevin.
Sorry.
Anyway,
Kevin,
so
you
here's
didn't-
my
I didn't watch
thinking.
it.
Angry.
Kevin.
Here's my thinking. He's brought up just enough times
to
to
be
keep
sus.
in your mind. He's
Okay.
not in too many episodes. Now, did he say he was a question? Did they say he was a therapist or a psychiatrist?
Which
Ther-
one? Who?
I think he
He
said he's
said
a
he was a
therapist.
therapist.
Therapist. Okay.
It takes
It doesn't totally rule it out, but he could have access to prescribing medications
That
if
could
he is a
poison him.
psychiatrist,
Yeah.
which could be the poisoning. That's just my wild card guess.
I'll do a wild card, guys. I'll do Howard because his cat died, and Tim always hated his cat.
So you
His
think that
cat
Tim
died
killed...
after the fact.
I think Tim poisoned the cat, and
we know
it
that?
took a while for the poison to kick in, and then the cat died, and so
Yeah, maybe
Howard knew that something was weird with his cat, because you will always know if something's weird if there's poison in your animal.
Oh, the cat was poisoned.
It's not confirmed, but that's just my theory.
Okay, he said he said he thought it was poisoned. That's right.
Yeah.
He said he thought it was poisoned. Because friendly reminder that you know who else got poisoned? The doggo.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Oh.
true.
So-
Winnie got
Winnie.
poisoned.
Yeah.
Evelyn is the cat, and Winnie's the
yeah.
dog. Don't worry, I'll always
Now,
know the
question-
name of the animals.
Now, question, Chris, is it true that cats will just eat dead bodies?
Yeah.
So-
Dogs will protect their owners. Cats will sniff, and then eventually, when there's no one to feed them, they will
So-
eat you.
So
Okay,
here's
alright.
my theory. Tim Kono was poisoned. Cat gets into his apartment, sees a snack on the ground, takes a couple bites.
Tasty
So-
snack.
Cat gets
you think
poisoned.
so you think Tim was dead for a while?
Yeah,
I
it was confirmed at the end of the episode that he was dead for a while.
Was it?
No, it was confirmed that he was
Not
dead
kind of
before the
abruptly,
gunshot.
yeah.
Because I mean, in order for there to be a lot of because so if you're already dead, being
Wait,
shot
wait,
doesn't
sorry,
do a
did
whole
you
lot
say
to
he
you.
was dead before the gunshot?
Yeah.
that's already- that was confirmed.
That's why the
toxicology
detective
report confirmed.
said, "Shit, fuck."
Yeah.
Yeah. But
So-
anyway, my theory is Cat drops in for a snack. Uh-oh, the snack's poisoned. He walks away. Cat dies.
Fair.
That could
I
work.
mean, so my whole counter argument to that is that there was a lot of blood because the cat stepped in blood, tracked blood prints around and everything like that.
Uh-huh.
Plus, blood makes it so that, you know, cops thought it was a shooting. You know, there'd be a lot of blood.
Right.
If you shoot a dead body because the heart's not pumping anymore,
There's
not a lot of blood.
Yeah.
Right.
Just because there's just not a lot of pressure anymore or anything like that. So he would have had to be freshly dead
Yeah.
post gunshot. Ryan,
What do you mean freshly dead?
I'm
If he was poisoned, could he have just vommed blood?
Or
He could have, yeah.
Or
Not
the
not
poison could be also like have blood thinning effects.
True. Or he was poisoned and then immediately shot.
and not all poisons will cause you to vomit blood. Just saying.
That's true.
Not that
Not
I've
all
looked into it.
poisons.
I don't
but-
recall
some.
seeing a lot of blood at the mouth.
There was
No.
enough blood for a cat to track prints,
Yeah,
though.
there's enough blood for the
Yeah.
cat to track a prince in.
I'm just saying specifically from the mouth. I didn't see a lot of
Yeah.
blood, so the vomiting
Gotcha.
I would rule out.
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing though is that they made a point of like, oh, they had Teddy and Theo outside of the apartment on this dude's camera, and it's like, well, if he was poisoned, that alibi don't mean shit.
Yeah.
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 True.
That alibi don't mean shit. They still could be involved. They may not have actually shot the body.
They might have found
But-
someone to shoot the body for them.
Yeah.
Get him off or something.
It might be stupid of me, but my final bet is still Jan. I don't know why.
That's fine. That's your final bet.
That's not a bad guess. It could
I
be a total
doubled-
misdirect with her stabbing
It,
or whatever.
it could be a misdirect. I'm thinking it is. And like the note I think was another red herring / misdirect. And just I don't know. From the beginning I've had bad feelings about Jan, and I'm sticking with Jan. Fuck you
Okay.
guys. I mean
never
I
tried
know
to
I'm
love
probably
her. That's
I
fair.
know I'm probably wrong because she got stabbed. Or maybe she stabbed herself. I don't know. I'm doubling down on
Judging-
Jan.
well,
Fuck
I
it, Jan.
mean,
Steve,
it was
what's
on
your
the side of her body, so
I got nothing.
possibly.
She could stab herself.
Ryan,
there,
do
yeah.
you have a theory?
Steve, you have to make a guess. You
Yeah.
just
I
have to
don't
pick
have a
something.
guess. Like you
just
We're all
pick
putting our
anyone.
final bets. We're putting our
Pick
final
anyone.
bets.
You can
Nothing
pick the
that
same.
it-
You can
nothing-
pick the same people. It's like you don't
Yeah.
need to pick someone
Honestly,
different.
I like the therapist ideas. I agree with Mike. Let's go with that.
Okay, that's fine.
I can see that.
Something that just popped in my head. What if it's just one elaborate plot by Tina Fey's character?
Oh,
I mean,
shit.
that can be your theory.
True, but we see a post podcast interview with her though.
But
Yeah.
maybe she did it so that
So that
way
she
she
could
could have
be-
more stories.
Yeah.
Maybe
That
she's
is
running
true.
out of stories, so she has to
Maybe-
make some.
Maybe she gets away with it.
Ooh. But there is a season 2 of the show, by the way.
Yeah,
Season
it
2
hasn't
has been
made
confirmed.
yet. It's in
But
production.
maybe-
Someone
It
else
has been
got
confirmed.
murdered.
No, maybe it's taking down Tina Fey. You know?
Oh,
Taking
I
down
still,
Tina.
maintain-
Only murder Tina Fey in the building.
I don't think it's one singular culprit, but just based on the line of they draw attention to that, and I'm like, this is very suspicious. There's
And they brush it
probably
off immediately.
it's probably multiple culprits. So I do think that Teddy and Theo were still involved in his death in some capacity, but they may not have been. They may have been they may have been involved maybe directly or indirectly, and that the one that has been doing all of the poisoning is a second culprit. I feel like I don't really have a guess based on who it is, because there really is no one who really has a distinct access to poison that's been introduced thus far.
throw a guess out. Well,
We made
Yeah, throw a
Steve,
guess out.
so you have to throw a guess out.
Is anyone in this show a doctor or a veterinarian?
I mean, there is someone who works in a.
no, you know who is a veterinarian though?
Hmm.
Oliver's son.
Oliver's son. So is Oliver the killer?
And he
And
was
he-
one of the first people to listen to the podcast.
Or is
Oliver's
Oliver?
son.
And he brought up that Mabel was related to Tim Kono.
Or is
Okay, I'll go with that.
I'm willing to entertain that.
Or is Oliver the killer?
I doubt that Oliver.
No.
Oliver's too special. He's too, like, perfect. He's a cinnamon bun.
I think you're wrong on
But-
that.
I-
Mabel's
cinnamon
the
bun.
cinnamon bun. Thank
Huh?
you very much.
Well, yes,
Is
but
Mabel's
actually
a cinnamon
no.
bun?
Mabel's the cinnamon bun.
Fuck no. Oliver's
I-
precious.
Yeah.
I would argue that
He's like a puppy.
That it's a combo of Teddy and Theo, and then the one doing the poisoning. I'll just throw it out there because y'all can convince me is Oliver's son.
But why? What's his motive behind that?
We
They're
don't know.
To fuck with his dad? I don't know.
they're
To get him to move
because
out.
He
Oh,
also
yeah.
knew of Mabel and ergo Tim Kono, so there could be some connection there that isn't revealed quite yet.
I do like Ryan's force him to move out angle. Maybe he tried to scare his dad out of the building.
Yeah, because he's like, you can't pay for it, and you stop asking me for scraps. Okay.
Cool. So that should wrap it up for Media Club. Unless anyone has any final thoughts before the final episodes.
Only murders on the Orient Express. They all stabbed him, or rather poisoned and shot him.
Only buildings in the murder.
Only buildings in the murder.
Only
Hey,
buildings.
Trumpet Steve says it was the doorman, and I have no reasons and feelings not elaborate.
That's not
I
an
did-
unreasonable
I
guess.
did have that thought for a second because he's the only character that's been like every episode that's
Yeah.
been like kind of like in the background only.
In episode 8, I was like, okay, he's hanging clothes on the door. What's he doing? What's
yeah.
going on?
Fucking job.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
but
doing his
also
job.
he probably has access to a lot of the room.
No, a doorman does
Yeah,
not.
he
Milk
does,
girl.
He
because
has a
that's who
master
Theo takes
key.
the key
He
from.
has a master key because Theo took it.
Yeah, Theo did.
Yeah, he did.
Gut milk girl.
Yeah, gut milk girl.
No gut milk.
Yeah, gut milk girl because
Alright, we
the
should stop. Let's stop theorizing and let's watch the damn episodes for
Next week will be the last 2 episodes of season 1 of Only
so
Buildings in
excited.
the Murder. Wait.
only
Also, I'm
buildings.
bonking. I'm bonking all of you for being horny in the notes.
No.
I deserve a good
Wait.
bonking.
Wait, hold on.
While
You
people
know who else
review
deserves a good balking?
Chad Ochocinco,
Chad Ochocinco.
I was going with the dodgeball. I was going with the dodgeball reference, but okay.
Butts, by
Yeah.
the way.
If you
Oh,
dodge a
the
wrench, you
Ocho.
dodge a punch.
Okay.
Really, Kevin?
it's been a while since I've seen Dodgeball. Okay, leave me alone.
I haven't even seen dodgeball the whole way through. I've only seen like the ending bit,
I
but I know
have.
that yes,
Fatty make it funny.
The Ocho
I have
part.
it
Bold
so
move,
stupid.
Kevin. Let's see how it plays out for him.
Bold
Thank
move.
you, Chuck Norris.
Boo.
I like
Norris
Chuck
sucks.
Norris. What?
He's a right-wing douchebag.
Oh,
But he's like
okay.
the original meme.
He's.
You know what is a
too-
meme? Liechtenstein.
Let's let
Sports
Ryan
corner.
do sports
Oh,
corner.
What are we going to talk about with Liechtenstein?
In
Yeah,
the International Ice Hockey Federation's Development Cup, Team
no.
Liechtenstein won its first ever international game, 7-6 over Ireland.
I forgot Liechtenstein was a country.
Honestly,
It's real small, so you can't even see it on the map.
oh,
It
If you're
came
go-
up during Worldle at one point, but
What?
yeah,
Oh.
and it was bigger on Wordle than it is on the fucking map.
Anyway.
If you're gonna taunt other teams' fans while driving, you might want to keep an eye on the road. Following the Roma Leicester City match where Roma won 1-0, a Roma fan started taunting an entire bus filled with City fans and ended up running into the stopped car in front of him, toppling him and his moped over along. Needless to
believe
say,
I believe it's pronounced Leicester, I think.
Leicester City. I could be. I know I was gonna butcher it.
Harry, is it Leicester?
Needless to say, the bus full of City fans got their payback. I would have paid money just to been on that bus.
oh yeah,
Oh,
100%. That's out. Like, especially the fact that he's driving a fucking moped, which probably
Europe.
totaled the moped and probably didn't even put a
It's
ding in the
Europe.
car.
Europe likes to ride crotch rockets.
Moped is not a crotch
Yeah,
rocket.
the car
I know.
got most of him. So instead of the moped. So.
Itchy, itchy, itchy,
Um,
itchy, itchy, itchy.
Where am I? Brazilian defender Marcelo was dropped from the Leon first team for repeatedly farting and laughing in the team's dressing room.
Nat, how did you get in the team's dressing room?
I had a coworker get fired for doing the same thing.
Wait, what?
Why?
No. Elaborate.
Why?
just-
Wait, is this
A
someone
ci-
I know?
No, it's not. This is from my current job.
Oh.
Oh, is this the guy you keep talking about?
Yes, this is the guy I was talking
Oh
about on Friday.
no,
Laughing?
that makes sense.
No. Just it's a series of being severely unprofessional. As per Denver Nuggets beat reporter and former Illinois State University women's basketball player Katie Wingy, Nuggets player Nikola Jokic was drafted in the second round of his NBA draft to the team, while ESPN played a Taco Bell commercial.
Wait, so his last name is Nugget?
No, Jokic.
Oh.
Nugget biscuit, nugget on a
And
biscuit.
Katie Wingy only brought this up because Jokic just won his second of back-to-back NBA MVP awards. And ESPN did him dirty. In college football news, the Air Force Academy is being investigated by the NCAA for recruiting violations.
Always.
Oh.
Nice to know that a branch of the U.S. military can be audited by a collegiate sports association.
Listen, they're not going to be audited by anything actually government official, so at least we got this.
At least you got that going for you.
Someone on the Cincinnati Reds subreddit made a post saying that during the game on May 6th, they will climb a wall and take a shit in a Toyota Tundra that is being shown in the outfield stands. They also asked for photos if anyone else went to the game and saw them do it.
What?
Only problem, a rainout prevented a brownout. The game was postponed. And finally, it's a short one this week. The Philadelphia Phillies had a 99.8% chance to win their game last Thursday night,
I'm guessing they
going
didn't
into the ninth inning with a 7-1 lead. They lost 8-7 to none other than the Mets, baby.
Why?
Love the Mets.
How could you lose to the Mets?
All right, baby, let's go. Love the Mets. Come on, get a home run. Love the Mets.
I love it how we only talk about the Mets just because of that fucking meme.
Oh, I just want.
I'm okay with it. I just love
Oh, apparently Shohei Ohtani hit a grand slam yesterday or
That was
today.
that was his first
Today,
one
so-
ever.
Nice.
That was cool. I got to watch the Sox blow out a game.
Yeah, that happened a lot recently.
So,
They like to blow.
Oh God, you used the
And
reference.
so do the Cubs recently.
Yeah, I did. I can't read
Yeah,
it.
I
I
forgot
know
that
the
emote
Cubs
exists.
suck.
Huh?
It doesn't suck. It's just small.
Yeah, it's
what
small.
does it say?
It says
References.
references.
Hover over
Reference-
it.
Yeah, it says references.
Because
There's
Kevin,
no-
whenever
no.
someone just says random things and Kevin just starts singing random ass songs, I'm just like, God damn
Nugget
it,
biscuit,
Kevin.
nugget and a
Yeah,
biscuit.
like, there's no-
nugget, biscuit,
What
nugget
is
and a
that?
biscuit.
That's
It's
nothing.
from
Dip
Toby
it all in
Turner.
mashed potatoes.
It's from
It's
a
Toby.
washed out YouTuber.
Tobuscus.
Washed
If
out
I
or
were-
washed
Oh,
up?
yeah.
If I were to redesign
Yes.
this emote, I would.
Then redesign
Make
it, bitch.
I would make it a square and just segment the syllables of it.
Oh, so do like a
Three
9
different
three
emotes.
by
yeah.
three?
References.
references.
References. Yeah.
Okay, then I'll redo it later.
It's like three
Or I can
individual
fucking do it now.
emotes.
I'll
Just
do
It
that.
would
Just
be three
wild
individual emotes. Do we have any more emote slots, Kevin?
No, I can just fix it.
Actually, I might have some. Hold on.
I don't. That's why I remembered why I don't like doing that. Okay, taskbar
Nugget,
settings.
biscuit,
Do
nugget and a
not
biscuit,
hide.
Before spamming says.
Okay, so how do I do it? Do I do it in Paint? Gip?
But anyway, crypto tanking.
Yeah,
All right,
let's
yeah,
hear about them
crypto
crypto
fucking-
losses, Kev.
Much like the Phillies blowing a lead late in the games, how's that crypto market doing?
So
Hey!
some stats came out.
Not great, Cotton. Not great.
If you bought crypto 6 months ago, your investment has roughly, just based on averages, has roughly taken a 55% dive.
Woo!
Not so good for my
Crap rate.
Dogecoin.
Crab rave.
My Dogecoin is suffering. You guys are dancing for my suffering right now.
Yeah. You don't have
okay
enough
with
to
this.
be sorrowful about it.
I have like a couple $100 in Dogecoin. Maybe it's not a couple hundred, maybe it's like 100. But still.
Yeah, that's fuck around money.
It is fuck around money, yes. The only investment I do is just fuck around. Like, it's just playtime money. Like, it's just,
I would just.
meh.
I brought this up before the podcast, but I would just like to point out that the day before the crash was when it was announced that Square Enix sold all of their Western properties so that they could invest in NFTs.
Wait, Squeenix sold. What did they sell?
Tomb Raider, and two other ones.
Well, in all fairness, they haven't had a new Tomb Raider game in like 3 or 4 years, so I mean, and the
Yeah,
last
let me
one
look
was
up-
kind of meh.
By the way, babe, I technically have 7 emote slots right now because I can have
Let me look
5
up
free emotes.
what they
I can have 5 free emotes, and I have 2 subscriber emotes left.
Okay, I'm trying to figure out how do you spell reference.
So it was. Oh,
References.
it was.
No, how do you
it
spell
was-
reference?
I don't know.
It was Tomb Raider, Deus Ex, and Legacy of
REFERENCES.
Kain.
Well,
Yeah.
they haven't come out with any of those in years,
I've heard
yeah.
of
There was
two
a
of
Deus
those.
Ex like within the past 5 years, right?
Yeah, 5. Okay, yeah, I'll give you 5.
What is your pixel?
I could never get
Bullshit.
into the first one. It just the gameplay just didn't do it for me.
So that was hilarious.
It's 4096. Yeah, so crypto's kind of crashing right now, blah blah blah. But last time
yeah.
crypto crashed, it was rebutted with its highest, like Bitcoin when it had its last giant crash. It had
Is
its
that
like
pixels?
biggest biggest height ever. Yeah.
Sorry, so 40 by 96.
Yep.
If you want a complete, comprehensive look, like deep dive into crypto, Bitcoin, NFT, all of that, there is a video by Folding Ideas called Line Goes Up. It is a 2-hour and 15-minute video.
Fuck that.
So it's a movie length video, but
Is it
goes in. Oh yeah, it's probably the best video on the subject. So you gotta block out enough time that you would block out for a movie.
Pour
because
a
it's
big drink, make some popcorn.
Because it starts with the 06 housing crash and then comes all the way around to where we are now.
Makes
A couple
sense.
years before the housing crisis, let's have some fun.
Nice reference.
And I remember why I hate making you things.
I remember why I hate watching anime.
Because you hate subtitles.
Because I hate subtitles. Okay, so some shows I'll watch subtitled just fine. If it's
Like
not
episode 7 of Only
Hitting-
Murders in the Building.
if it's not a very actiony show, I'll watch subtitles. But if it's like a lot of action, I'll
have
watch.
Margot Robbie in a bathtub
dubbed.
What?
explaining how the housing market works.
Oh, right. I forgot that was the thing. The Big Short or whatever.
Oh,
Yeah, The Big
okay.
Short.
Anyway,
Mike,
let's
tell me
talk
about
about some
anime.
weeb shit,
Are you, wait,
motherfuckers.
hang on, are you sure it's 40 by 90? 40 by 96?
Yeah.
That's a rectangle.
40 by 96 by 49 by 96.
49 by 96?
No, it's 40, 96 both ways.
Oh.
4096.
That doesn't make any sense.
4096.
That's the length and the width.
Yes.
Thanks. I thought
Anyway,
you just...
let's-
Okay.
No, it's
Let's talk about some
4096.
That would have been better for you to say.
Eat
4096.
shit, motherfuckers.
I finished
Not 40 by
all.
96. 40
I
by
finished
96.
watching all of the shows from the winter 2022 anime season. I finished 17 shows. I'm going to be very brief with most of them. I'm not going to talk about like the 3 or 4 that are towards the bottom that I just wouldn't recommend. So let's just jump into it. Let's start with Ranking of Kings, which is a just a straight fantasy epic starring a deaf character. So the main character is deaf. I think that brings out a lot of the most interesting parts of the show. Like you get to see who actually cares enough about this character to learn sign language. There's a lot of themes regarding perception of ability versus actual ability. The first half of the show, fucking great. And it really hones in on a lot of those themes. Second half, I feel like it takes a little bit of a dip, gets into some yikes nationalist territory regarding Korea, but little blemish. I did a video for Anime News Network on this if you ever want to check it out, though it is a spoiler
Shameless
video.
plug.
Yes, shameless plug. Yes. So I think it's fine overall. They haven't announced the second season yet, but a second season would definitely behoove it. Speaking of second seasons, Demon Slayer, the Entertainment District arc.
It's
Demon
still
Slayer.
low on the list.
Should I watch Demon Slayer?
Yes.
Yeah, Demon Slayer is continuing to be Demon Slayer. I personally wasn't as much a fan of this season as the first season and the movie. I think the movie was probably the peak of the franchise for me. But the last 2-ish episodes really brought it around. Demon Slayer has this habit of like very subtly characterizing its villains for like the first 6 episodes of an arc, and then in the last episode it will go full backstory mode and be like, this is who these characters were, and it all like just floods back to you like, holy shit, that makes so much sense. But yeah, Demon Slayer continues to be Demon Slayer. It's good action fun. Speaking of good action fun, we have Sabikui Bisco, which was the thing I nominated for Media Club last time, also known as Mushroom Terrorists. It's a very not subtle allegory for weed, if you want to look at it that way. Although if you do take it to the fullest extent of the metaphor, it kind of falls into the weed is the cure-all thing for all of society's ails, which is probably not the best thing. But considering that most East Asian countries, Japan included, are extremely harsh on drugs, I think it is a very surprising breath of fresh air. It's also just a really solid action series overall. Also, gay. It is gay.
Yeah, I like gay.
It's gay.
I like gay.
As soon as you said that, Chris added it to their watch list.
Yeah,
I like that.
it is gay. It doesn't seem like it's going gay at first, but by the last 3 or 4 episodes, you're like, oh, they gay.
How you spell that?
Oh, they gay boys.
Oh, they walking.
Oh, they flocking. One's a nice little soft boy doctor, and the other's like a rough and tumble action dude. So, yeah. Also has one of the villain is played by Kenjiro Tsuda, who is the same who voices Overhaul in My Hero. So, he's like the big villain
They want
voice
to put the ER on the top line
now. So,
Refer.
yeah, that's a good one. Let's see. I'm gonna skip over there. Adam by Eve is half anime, half live action. It's this weird art house project by the pop artist Eve. If you've seen Jujutsu Kaisen, he did the opening theme for that. But it's basically just a 55-minute long, half music video, half allegorical plot line.
That more.
Very symbolic, lots of very vivid imagery. Studio Kara, who did the Ava rebuilds, did a lot of the animation for this. If you've seen the music video Me, 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 you will absolutely notice one of their handiwork in this one. I thought it was a good time. I think it's on Netflix. I'm not sure if it's on American Netflix, but it is on Netflix. Slow Loop is a slice of life series about fishing. And also about finding a new family, because basically, Ryan, it's citrus without the incest.
Yes. Okay, but wait. What about the sexual assault?
Without that.
Oh, yes.
So it's basically like 2 characters like meet 2 high school girls meet each other, and like they bond over fishing, and then it turns out their parents are getting remarried, and so they're stepsisters now. No incest though. It's not citrus. It's just a wholesome family.
It's not citrus.
Let's say, is it incest if they're like step siblings?
It's
weird. Don't get me wrong, but
I don't know. Let's ask
Depends on
domestic
what you're in.
girlfriend that.
Steve's interesting. Steve's interesting. Dangerous Pornhub territory right
Steve,
now.
the answer to your question is, what county are you in? Is the
well, I would go more like what state and how many banjos are playing currently.
But yeah, it's a nice little series. If you actually like fishing, it's got a lot of fishing stuff in it.
Kevin.
I do like
And it's also just got some nice family building stuff about like trying to reform bonds after losing a family member. It's one of the few shows from the season that got me to tear up, so I would recommend it. Talked about that before. Akabi-chan is another slice of life series that is probably one of the most beautiful anime that I've seen, period. It just goes all in on its visual presentation. Not a whole lot going in the story aspect, but I think the visuals more than make up for it. It is extremely gazy. So, like, with a Z, gazy,
Oh,
like male gazy. Yeah, so if that's a deal breaker, maybe avoid this one. I won't make excuses for it.
I also am going to keep the word gazy in my head now. That is a good way to describe
Gazy,
gazy.
Yeah, but it is very much that, but it also has some it's a nice slice of life anime about like high schoolers forming friendships and stuff. But and it's also really fucking gorgeous, but also very gazy and horny. Tropical Rouge Precure is a magical girl series that I can't really recommend to a lot of people unless you are all in on magical girls series for 8-year-old girls. But yeah, this is a children's show, but it's really fun. The humor is super great, and just
Question.
yes.
Is it sad like Madoka Magica?
No.
Thank fucking God.
No.
I will watch it.
It has a couple moments where you're like, oh,
but not like I want
dark.
to kill the little animal creature.
No, it's not dark.
Okay.
This is Toei Animation's main money maker
because
for
you know
the
how I
magical
feel
girls.
about Madoka Magica, or as I like to call it, Monica.
It's got some great, just really strong character building. Lot of fun. It's a fun show. It's an episodic cartoon for 8-year-olds. So if that sounds like something you might dig, maybe check it out.
I'm a child, yeah.
Yeah. And also, there's also just nothing that looks like Precure when it comes to anime, so I would at least recommend it on that account. All right, we got about 4 left. So, 86 Season 2
Jeebus.
is a show that should have ended last season, but because of production delays and other shit, the final episode got pushed all the way till March of the last March, like the very end of March. So, this is a what if mecha series, but with racism.
What?
So,
Delightful.
So essentially the plot is like we have this city or this nation, Saint Magnolia, where it's like you have 85 districts in this series of very notably Caucasian people. And then you have the 86th district that exists outside of this city, and they use them as warmongering fuel to fight an AI-driven threat from an outside nation. So, at first, I was not a huge fan of how it handled the racism bits because it seemed a little too simple. But once I started reading into it a bit more, it seemed to even out a bit more. But more than that, it's just a impeccably directed series. A lot of very strong imagery. It's a very tight action series. For as much CG as is in this, I was never once bothered by any of the CG. It's just a very tight action series. A little bit towards the end of the second season, it starts to drag out a bit, but overall, just really strong. If you want like a tight, hyperactive action series with some social commentary in it, this is for you. Next, we have The Orbital Children, which is the show that I recommended to Steve a little while ago. It's a 6-episode Netflix series. But it's a near future series about living in space.
Ooh.
It's very, very hard on the technology aspect of it. Almost to the point of, if you are not familiar with this stuff, it is very unforgiving. For example, there's a moment where they just introduce like peer-to-peer technology, and if you don't know what that is, they're not holding your hand for that.
Wow.
So, but
Rude.
it is a very well built
P2P.
world. The technology is pretty interesting. The characters are very fun to be around, and it's one of the few series I've seen that has a overtly positive outlook on AI and like emergent AI technology, as opposed to like your Terminators and your Matrix and stuff
Detroit
like that.
Become Human.
Yeah. So that was the part of the series that really sealed it for me, as this is something I really like. All right. My dress up darling is an ecchi series.
It
and a
sounds
rom-com.
like an app, like a game.
I mean, so basically, dude who makes like Japanese, like the Japanese like doll sets and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So dude who makes that meets a girl who loves cosplaying, and he ends up making her cosplays for her.
Oh, okay.
It's extremely horny.
Oh, never mind.
I
I was thinking it was gonna be
but-
cute.
Unlike something like a Kebi-chan, I think a lot of the horny is very justified. Ryan is going to grab his copies of the manga that he has. He has 4 copies so far.
I don't have volume 3.
Oh, wow. Yeah, so yes, the main girl is very hot, as you can see in those images there.
Aw, cute.
But I feel like a lot of the sexual tension of the series is very well justified in a lot of its aspects, because
It's not working.
there's a lot of discussion about this one on Twitter, where people who didn't get the series were like, dude, why isn't he just going after her? Why is he making a move on her? And it's very much in the series, it's very obvious that the main guy respects the boundaries that he has set with this girl that he is making essentially slutty outfits for. And so I think in that aspect it is very wholesome in a way. And it's overall just really fun and hilarious and extremely well animated. So would recommend that. Finally, my favorite for the season this year, Takagi-san Season 3, which is a series I almost dropped a couple years ago, but I really came around to it at some point. When I watched the first season of Takagi-san, it was very much like okay, you're just standardly adapting the manga beat for beat. But as the seasons go on, the anime team is adding more like almost story-driven content to the series, because otherwise it's just a very standard rom-com about girl teasing the guy that she likes and him getting flustered over it and stuff. But as the series goes on,
How does it feel, Kevin?
like it's adding a lot more story-driven content and really honing in on the core emotional aspects of what makes these characters interesting and engaging. So yeah, it's a real fun show. It's getting a movie this year, which I kind of hope is the end of the series, because we're reaching a point where it can end. It could very well end right now with the movie. So I'm hoping it ends with the movie. I would still watch more if there's more after it, but I think this is a solid ending point.
I think the manga's still going.
Oh yeah, the manga is absolutely still going.
And the author is also doing a version where the two of them are grown up and are married and have a kid.
Aw.
Yes, and
At the
there's a
same
version
time.
where they essentially gender swapped the roles, and they have a weird ninja series going right now. But anyway, that's my rundown of the anime from the last season. A lot of
Mike.
good shit.
Look at the chat for a second. Is that emote better?
Yeah, actually.
Yes, it wasn't what I was imagining, but I do like this.
I can't do it 3x3 because it's not 9 letters.
Yeah, I think this version is better than what
3x3 was
A rentis.
it was ref
A ren.
rents.
This version is better than what I was thinking in my head.
I
Okay,
just think that the word is too long to be a good emote.
It's a 10-letter word,
Yeah,
and
I
I can't
think
break
it's
that
too
into
long.
3. So 5 and 5 works. Cool.
Five
Can you make it any
and five.
bigger?
You can try.
Do you know what's 11
You
letters?
literally have it up there.
Yeah, you know what else is
Actually,
11
actually have it.
letters?
Moulin Rouge.
Is it really?
I was gonna say, since we've all been so horny tonight, let's talk about Moulin Rouge.
Horny, horny, horny.
So,
horny?
On a scale of 1 to 10, how much Ewan McGregor is in this play?
A lot.
-2.
No,
Anyways.
that's a lie. He's in it.
Although I will give my spicy hot take that I think between Moulin Rouge and Big Fish, those are my favorite Ewan McGregor roles. And
I
no,
forgot
you
he
can't
was
change
in
my
Big
mind.
Fish.
I love Big Fish.
I
Big
only
Fish.
I've
wa-
seen Big Fish.
I've
my
only
favorite
watched
Ewan
Big
McGregor
Fish
movie.
in English class, and I haven't seen it outside of English class. So
Big Fish is fantastic.
I watched
All
it
I gotta say to that is
Theology
hello there.
class.
Well, that Jedi mind trick won't work on me. But anyway,
I wasn't doing a Jedi mind trick. I was just saying hi.
Anyways.
let's go on with
Anyway.
Moulin Rouge. Moulin.
so anyway,
you spelled rouge. Oh wait, no, that's
one
right.
of-
That's
never mind.
right.
One of my Christmas presents from Nat this year was tickets to see Moulin Rouge in the city. We were supposed to see it in March, but because of COVID, they delayed the opening by a week or two, and they decided, hey, instead of the second weekend, which is when your tickets were, why don't we just move them to the second to last weekend, because that makes sense. So,
Of course, you know.
anyways, we went to the city to see Moulin Rouge, and my god, it was fantastic. I haven't had a lot of opportunities to see live theater since things started opening up. Just mainly community stuff and one of the professional shows at my work, which was definitely more on a smaller scale. But wow, it wasn't. And I love Moulin Rouge, the movie, by the way. Like, I adore the movie in all of its strange little flaws. I paid my whore.
It's a very interestingly directed movie.
Yes,
Mhm.
because it's done by Boz Luhrmann, and his
Oh, yeah.
and there's a lot of very trippy stuff that happens. And for those who don't know, Moulin Rouge is a jukebox musical, and essentially what a jukebox musical is they take popular songs and work them into a different story. So established songs like, for example, Your Song, Nature Boy, Roxanne being the most prevalent example. And that came out, I guess the theme today of any time I talk is making people feel old. So, Moulin Rouge originally came out in 2001.
Yeah, that's right.
And the stage version, I should have looked this up beforehand, but I think the Moulin Rouge musical that was premiering on stage came out within the last few years, I want to say. Yeah, 2018. So very recently was when it first premiered on Broadway. So very recently. And one of the very remarkable things about it is that they take the movie, but they also make it their own. They also are like, hey, you know what? There's been a lot of movies that have or not a lot of movies, a lot of music that has come out in the last 20 years. Let's use that. And find little ways to update the soundtrack, but also still use stuff that is still prevalent that they didn't use. Like, you know, they rickroll the audience. It's fine. But it was so great. It's so colorful. The dancing was incredible. This is a show that if you are a techie that you want to do tech on, because the lighting, the sound, and the set design was just fucking incredible. Like, there's one particular thing. I wasn't even sure how they were going to incorporate this on stage, but they did. So at the beginning of the movie, they have this scene where they all get drunk off of absinthe and talk about the Green Fairy. And they didn't do that right away at the beginning. I'm like, oh, I guess they're just not gonna do that. And then, like, part of the way through Act 2, they have a number that Ziedler sings. They have him do Chandelier where they're all getting drunk off of absinthe. And they
Sia, as in Sia's Chandelier? Ah.
Yeah. And they and the lighting is in such a way where they have the drinks being lit, like the stage is blacklit, and they all have glasses, and you can see the green in the glasses, and you can see Christian's glass getting drained and filled with the glasses, and I was like, how are they doing this? This is so cool. Anyway, the one very interesting thing in terms of #live theater is about maybe like halfway through the second act, one of the actors' mics just starts to cut out, and then immediately they straight up dead stop the show, and they're like, we're going to the show will resume momentarily, and they call all the actors off stage. And at first we're all like, what the fuck is going on? This is really scary. But based on that, I think something with the soundboard may have fucked up, or something with the mics may have fucked up, or that particular channel. But they fixed it very quickly, and everything was on. But that was a very scary 30 seconds. But it was amazing. It's only in the city for one more weekend, and my souvenir from the show was the shot glass set with the bohemian ideals of truth, beauty, freedom, and love.
So, when I went to Paris when I was a sophomore, or freshman or sophomore year of high school, we actually went to the, Moulin Rouge in Paris. And obviously it wasn't the play. It was a burlesque show, because that's what it is. So me at 11 p.m. at night, I'm like, can I have an espresso? Because I'm about to fall asleep, but I want to watch the pretty ladies. And that's me at
telling me the show's horny?
In Paris, yeah. It's a burlesque show. It's like the Rockettes, but better.
The joke is that Moulin Rouge is very obviously horny.
This is where I am with my drink, okay?
Yeah, I want to say, Chris, did you know at that point, or was that one of those moments you look back on and are like, I should have known by then?
Oh, no, yeah, that I knew, because I dated Jess for a week my sophomore year.
Oh,
wait, no. I didn't know, because that was freshman going into sophomore.
So that was one of those moments looking back, you're like, should have known.
Yeah. No, yeah,
Yeah.
drinking espresso at 15 years of age. I was like, I don't drink coffee.
Yeah, drinking coffee at 15 is better than eyeballing womp rats from your...
I
Good
want to
job,
make
babe.
fun
Love
of you,
ya.
but I was
I
trying to
don't
come
even
up
want to
with a
talk about it
transition, and
anymore.
I just couldn't get it.
I don't even want that.
Bullseye womp rats on my T80. There we go. That's what it is, isn't it?
I don't think Steve liked
I think
that.
Steve is dead.
Star
I
Wars!
would love if there was a compilation of clips of
Just of us
how many
fucking
times
up.
Steve has fucking died on this podcast.
Oh, I was going
T16.
to say a compilation of Kevin making the worst transitions ever.
That compilation would be hours long.
You guys are mean.
And
I love
Anyway,
you, babe.
so
No more
for-
podcast. I'm done with the podcast.
Okay, no more podcasts.
Okay,
Fine
thanks,
with
bye.
that. I'll start doing other games on Tuesdays. Free up another week to do stuff.
Okay.
Don't tempt me. I'll do it.
No, you
I'll
won't.
cancel this shit.
Okay, cancel
We're only
it.
13
I will.
episodes
I
away
dare
from
you.
I'll
100. You really
turn
gonna
this
do
pod-
that?
Okay.
I'll turn this podcast
you are not
around, you
canceling
little
this shit
shits.
before I get to recommend the next media club.
We're no podcast next week, guys. We're canceling it.
Okay, speaking of things that are gonna happen,
Speaking of things that should have
No,
been canceled,
Steve's got to talk about Star Wars.
Star Wars, living in the ocean.
Not episode 4, because I rewatched episode 4, the first Star Wars movie, and other than the atrocious additions that George Lucas made to it, pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
Because we watched the Disney Plus version, and George Lucas right prior to the Phantom Menace,
Big
decided,
lizard.
Babe.
I'm gonna add a bunch of. Okay, here's my hot take: the lizards don't look terrible. The stormtroopers riding the lizards are the worst CGI I've ever seen in my entire
No.
fucking
The
life.
lizards
I
also
would
look
say
pretty
the
terrible.
lizards look terrible
Yeah.
because of what they are doing on screen, which is
Yeah,
that
if they were just sitting there with an idle animation, might have been okay. But like the only time I really noticed, like, oh, that looks terrible, is when like a
when it walks
stormtrooper is,
directly
like,
in front of the camera.
well,
It
yeah,
takes up
that
half the freaking screen.
takes up
Half.
half the screen, and then like a
Three-quarters.
stormtrooper climbs off of it, bends weirdly at the waist. It just looks completely unnatural. I'm just like, what made you think this was a good idea, George? Stop it.
George isn't smart.
How is
sometimes.
James Bond not absolutely smashed all the time?
I'm smashed.
This is just pure booze. What the fuck?
It's gonna be a fun Overwatch.
But yeah, that
Fuck.
I mean, Steve 4 is just like a straight action thriller kind of movie.
It's fun. It's the Vader
man.
Vader v Obi-Wan fight is hilariously like dated now because it's just two old men banging sticks together. I probably mentioned this before, but there's this great reimagining of that scene, like on
I've seen it, yeah,
on YouTube, where it like holds it
pays homage to the original, but adds
It
to
pays,
it.
it pays homage to the original, but
Guys,
kind of adds like
guys,
the prequel
guys,
trilogy
guys,
flair
guys.
to it. What?
The H in homage is silent. It's homage.
And let me enjoy my herbal tea.
Fuck off!
People at work found out I said herb, and they were like, "Say that again." I'm like, "Herb," and they were like, "Are you being serious right now?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's herbs." They were like, "Kevin, like it's
Here, let
it's
me show you
herbs.
my pet Jenny Pidge.
I'm going to hack into your. I am going to hack
He's
into your
worth it, he's
security
worth it, he's
cameras
worth it,
right
he's
now
worth it,
and
he's
rip
worth
the
it.
audio from that and watch it daily.
what?"
You getting called out for your herb.
Oh, don't forget the way
My
he
herbs.
says room. Or
My
roof.
rum.
I already ran that
Homage.
into the. Listen, herb is way funnier than rum.
I say rum.
He's worth it, he's worth it, he's worth it, he's worth it, he's worth it.
Wow. Okay.
You-
I'll sleep on the couch tonight.
No, I had a scary dream last night and I needed you to snuggle with
Sleeping
me.
on the couch.
See, that Death Star run though, pretty fucking tightly
That run
directed.
is pretty good, other than the fact they named a the only fat character in the
Pork-
entire movie, Porkins.
No, stop!
I joke, I joke, I joke, I joke.
It was just, and then they immediately kill off the entire Rebel fleet, a la motherfucking Last Jedi.
Oh,
Yeah, they do that.
I would just. I don't know. I don't remember if I shared this post, but like someone pointed out, it was like, so Vader essentially sees Han Solo pull up with his son,
Yes.
his mentor, the two droids that the droid that he built and the droid that piloted with him, breaking his daughter out of jail. Then he comes back as he's about to shoot Luke, and Han comes back in what is essentially a Space 18-wheeler and shoots him in the ass. And Vader's got to be wondering, who the fuck is Han Solo?
Hey, what? Let me interrupt for a second.
else.
Kevin, what are you doing?
It's just a toxic waste. It's not that sour. These things are baby candy.
Oh, but it holds up. The movie holds up probably better than it's good shit. I like it. It's fun.
Nice.
That's good.
So time to get a little serious here, right?
Serious.
So a little serious. Soko has kind of become a little bit of a nuisance in our lives. He's just really rambunctious. He's a little shithead, yeah. He's a little too much for us right now. He just kind of he's just a lot to handle. And this isn't really easy to say. And we're sad to say this, but we are doing the hard thing, the right thing, and we're currently looking for another kitten for Soko. We are looking to adopt another kitten just for Soko.
I was watching Monica the whole time. I was watching Monica the
I was
whole
watching
time.
Monica too. That was perfect. Oh my god!
Clip it, clip it, clip it.
I had to keep a straight face.
I knew it was a bit, but holy, it's like I don't know if you knew it was a bit, but you fucking sold it if you didn't.
Wait, like halfway through, I'm like, what the fuck? Wait, what? Are they fucking doing that?
No,
Also,
we're
clip that.
we're 100% keeping Soko. Soko's a perfect little bean, but he's just kind of an asshole. He's got a lot of energy, and he's very bored. We think.
So bored. So like,
But he keeps taking out on Danny.
Basically, what he's been doing today, when not bothering his big little sister, is going to the pantry, putting his paws under the pantry, and going meow. And I'm like,
hold it now.
And I'm like, you can't get fed. You can't eat when you're bored. That's how you get fat. Case in point.
That's a
So we were originally we applied for adoption for a cat that we saw at a PetSmart near us. She got adopted literally yesterday. They removed her
As we were there.
They removed her off her website. We saw her adoptee, or her new owner.
Fight them.
So then what we did was we went on to Kevin went on to Pet Finder today, and then I favorited
We
10
found
or
6.
yeah, I favorited 10 cats, and then I narrowed it down or whatever. And now there's 6 that we're looking at.
Get them all.
Don't tempt me, Monica.
Don't will.
Tempt me.
But I can't.
We have space.
Monies. We have enough space for a billion cats.
That's
Anyway,
what I'm saying. We have all the space.
So we're either, it really doesn't matter with the gender. We just really want the cat to be around his age or a little bit younger, a little bit older.
We want them to grow up together.
And we just really want a rambunctious kitten that he'll have fun with, that Danny can have the rest of her years not molested by her little brother, basically.
I mean, that could entirely backfire, and they both could molest
that is the fear.
Molested in a metaphorical sense, right?
Yes, I was going to say phrasing.
Yeah.
So our entire
that's my worst case scenario, that both of them are going to team up on her. But what we did was, about maybe a month after we got him, I purchased a microchip cat door that can read the microchip of the kitty cats. And since since our bedroom is upstairs and there's a door that we can close, we could always install the microchip door, and she could become a 3rd floor cat. The 3rd floor is big. She's fine. She has enough sun up there. We'll still deck it out for her if the 2 cats decide to gang up and bully on her.
Even then, we could just keep her upstairs. But that's worst case scenario.
Yeah. Also, cat fur. A couple of the cats I looked at, one is a male long-haired cat and the other one's a female long-haired cat. So
You'll never own anything that doesn't have cat hair on it ever again.
I mean, that's the same with dogs. Belle doesn't shed, but also I'm getting kind of sick of Belle. So
I am living in the dog hair right now.
Belle is definitely going back to Grandma when it's time, because Grandma's asking for her. My dad told me that. But also, she's being a right bitch to my cats, and my cats come first. So.
All right,
bitch.
Monica, did I actually get you there?
A little bit. I was very much
confused.
I bought it.
I was just kind of listening and seeing where this was.
Harry.
You looked very concerned. You looked very concerned.
Monica got baited.
Harry. So the whole thing
was stared at the boy the whole
time. And
also,
the whole thing with Danny is she does not mind animals if they're not if they're not right up in her face. Literally, I have a picture of them from tonight of Soko sitting next to her on the chase. They're in a little heart shape. Their butts are almost touching. And it's as long as they're not in her face, as long as they're not really touching her, they can literally be an inch apart and not be touching, and she's fine with them.
Back and forth forever.
Forever.
Mike, you're kind of aware of this, where Danny growled at your sister's cats and whatever. I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
Did they also chase her or anything like that, or did they just go up to her and she grumbled?
Chase her? They just kind of walked up to her "Hey, what's up?"
And then she was a bitch. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So he is, even though he doesn't have any, he's got some balls on him, where he'll now so he's tall and lanky. He can have his back paws on the floor, and he can put his front paws on our table. And so he did that while we were eating dinner today, because Danny was on the table watching the fish tank. He put his front paws up, and I was like, "You're standing on the ground, aren't you?" And so she starts it's 50-50 on who starts the fighting, but she'll bite at him with her 19 teeth, and he'll swat at her, but he'll always swat close with no claws, and he doesn't I saw him try to I saw him bite her ear today, and it was like a like not like a I'm gonna gum you because that's what you trained me to do. I'm not gonna injure you. So if we get this new cat and they gang up on her, long story short is she's gonna go upstairs. She'll have her whole life up there. But if the hope is that he's gonna bond with the new cat, and the new cat's gonna bond with him, and it's just gonna be those two, and they're gonna leave her alone. And then she gets to sunbathe whenever the fuck she wants.
Probably.
Well, she's still, if they go up to her to greet her, she's still gonna be because she's a grumpy old, almost 19-year-old cat. So.
She is
You're
an
right,
old lady.
It's her, it'll actually be her golden birthday this year. So. Because I decided her birthday is my birthday. So. It's easier for me, okay? She's 10 years younger than me.
That's fair.
She's 10 years younger than me. It's easier for me to remember. Her gotcha day is actually coming up soon. I think it's the 25th. Actually. Let's see. Yeah, her gotcha day is actually the 19th of this month.
Hey. What day is that?
It'll be next Thursday. Okay. So we could also celebrate. I mean, on the podcast, we can show her off a little bit and be like, "Happy Gotcha Day."
But
throw some treats her way.
Speaking of stuff that's coming up soon, as in maybe after we take a quick break.
Overwatch.
I was about to end the podcast and say that.
Harry's down for it. He said, "Fuck it, I'll stay up." So we got Harry.
I like how Harry is to Overwatch as Patty is to Minecraft. If you say Overwatch, Harry just bursts
he's like
Overwatch.
He's like the dog that only perks up one ear.
Except we are gonna have a problem when the new Overwatch comes out and the new meta takes effect.
It's only 5, right?
It's only 5-player teams.
Unfortunate.
We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Wait, in the OG Overwatch or in Overwatch 2?
If it is to believe what Blizzard has said, all changes to like the game will occur across both games. So all characters, all changes to gameplay, essentially everything's being cross-platformed. So it's to be assumed that the new meta will limit 5-player teams.
I mean, that
but we'll
sucks.
see.
Steve, you're going to be playing a lot more No Man's Sky.
Or Ryan.
Wow.
Overwatch team?
No, I was saying or Ryan. I mean, the most part, it's usually Mike, me, and Kevin that are all for it, and the two of them are like,
wow. All I know is I'm on the team for sure.
Same.
Unless you guys really don't want to play with me, then that's understandable.
Well,
but thank you guys for hanging out for the VGRCast.
That's a fucking lie. He's got multiple play of the games, which is a night I should never get play of the game.
We'll be back in a few minutes with some Overwatch. I'm just gonna hang out and vibe in some Overwatch matches. And yeah, we'll be back in a little bit.
Oh god, the update is making me drop frames everywhere. Oh god.
Oh, you're up. Oh wait,
shit. I'm coming. I'm shitting. Oh god, no.
We'll be back in a few minutes. Thank you guys. Bye.
Mike has came everywhere.
Shitting. Oh.